Mm-hmm.
Right. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Masterpiece Lounge. I'm your host, Chrisnatha DeRozier, and I have a very special guest that's going to be hanging out with us today. It is the amazing Nakia
Necoya.
Tyson. Necoya Tyson. Oh my goodness. Necoya
We,
Tyson. We were just talking about Nakia.
that is
Oh
too
my
funny.
gosh. Necoya Tyson. Hello, hello, hello.
Hello, Chrisnatha. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, absolutely. How are you? How's it going?
Oh, I am good. I'm fabulous. To everyone watching, I was just telling Chrisnatha before we got on. I'm actually on site doing a site visit here at the Kalahari Resort. So I'm excited. It's been a good start to my day. So I'm great.
That is wonderful. I'm so happy to hear that. So for people who have been living under a rock, I want you to tell us, who is Necoya?
Oh, yes. So I am first. It's funny. I was not this first, but I am now. I would say first, I'm a mom. I'm a mom to
Mhm.
an amazing 9-year-old fourth grader. He is awesome. I am a business owner. I am the owner of All About You Event Management, which is a wedding and event planning firm where we do events all over the world. I am also, I would say, one of the nicknames I've been recently given was the change agent. So I am a person who is very huge on change, on making change for the better, whether it's within yourself, whether it's within an organization, your company, or whatever, because change is the only thing that's constant. So that is me in a nutshell. I will say it probably eventually will become a serial entrepreneur because I have all of these ideas and all of these thoughts and things that I would like to do in the very near future. So working on some new things that I will be happy to announce once they come to fruition.
Awesome. Wow. Well, that is some exciting stuff. So I am so happy to hear that. And I know you mentioned you are an event planner. So as
Mhm.
an expert event planner, when did you get your passion for event planning? When did that begin?
I would say my passion for event planning started when I was in college. I was always that person who wanted to have other things to do outside of what was the norm, I guess I would say. So because I'm very organized and I'm a logistical person, I love looking at a room coming into an empty space, four walls, and then just transforming that. And so that passion really did start when I was in school. I studied journalism and television production, and it was a really easy segue from that because I originally wanted to be some sort of a writer, some sort of a journalist, and it was easy to segue from that into planning events. But it started in college, but I really got my love for it. My very first job out of college, I worked for an association that was for children daycare age until to 5 years old. And one of my first big jobs for that organization was to plan the company's 10-year anniversary. And I completely fell in love at that point. I said, this is what I want to do. This is where I want to be. I want to be that person that plans extravagant events or just really nice events or fun events. And because that event was so fun and so outside of the box for me, I instantly fell in love then.
Wow, wow, wow. That is amazing. You know what, Nicoya? I realized as you were telling your story, we have a few things in common.
Uh-huh.
I also wanted to be a writer. I also
Oh,
studied
awesome.
journalism. And so while you were talking, I'm like, oh my goodness, this is my soul sister right now. Like,
My new bestie, y'all. Got a new
listen,
bestie.
I get you. I get you. I do. I was like, oh my gosh. So that is amazing. Yes, we do share that passion for writing, journalism, knowing about things. I just, oh my goodness, that is awesome.
Yes.
Awesome. So
I
college,
definitely know where my son got his inquisitive, nosy mind from.
being inquisitive is important, I think. I like to refer to myself as my own personal investigative journalist. Like I'm always like, let
Yes.
me find out.
Yes.
I will
Me
figure
too.
out the source. Like, let me do some research. I'll get back to you.
That again, we are definitely soul sisters because that is me all the way. I'm like, wait a minute, let me look into that. I need to know a little bit more.
I want to know the background, the origin. Where did this come from? When did it start? I mean, just questions. There's
I
questions, but
love it.
that's a good thing that your son is inquisitive because my mom had the same complaint about me. So it'll work out in his favor.
I think it will. I think it will.
That is awesome. Oh man, that's awesome. I wanted to also ask you, I know we have some of our viewers who may have been putting on their own events or thinking about putting on their own events, whether they're in person or even virtual, now that we're more in this virtual space. What
Mhm.
would you say are the top 3 tips you can share when clients are planning an event? Like, what steps can they take to have a great experience? Or even if they have an event planner, how can they prepare so that journey with that event planner goes smoothly?
Yes, I would say one of the first things that I always tell my clients and potential clients is to come up with a budget. And when I say that, I mean a realistic budget. I typically ask them or tell them, tell me what is the number in your head when you first started thinking about this event that you said, I refuse to go over X, and kind of work backwards from there as far as what you're willing to spend and where you're willing to allocate those dollars. So creating a realistic budget is always the first thing that I tell people. There's no way that you can know what type of event that you can actually do or plan if you don't know how much money you're going to be able to spend. So that's the first thing. The second thing I would say is be okay or be prepared to possibly have to improvise or make changes. You may set out to say, I want to do, and this is just an example, I want to have these glorious, beautiful, amazing flowers. And then once you see how much those flowers cost, you're like, oh, wait a minute. But be okay with improvising, maybe not doing 100% flowers for your event or for your wedding or for whatever it is. Be okay with doing or using a different type of flower that may look just as beautiful, but be more cost effective, or maybe not even doing all florals at all. I have a client right now who's like, I don't like flowers. I don't want anything to do with flowers. I don't want to see a flower at my wedding. And I'm like, awesome. That gives us a chance to be creative. But I would say, be okay with being able to, or having to make changes or being able to improvise. And then the last thing I would say is if you have a planner, is open communication. Be transparent about everything and with each other. Your planner should be the same with you, especially if this planner has other clients or has other events going on. I want people to know and understand that while you are my client, I have other clients, but when I am with you and when I am dealing with your project and your event, you are my only client at that time. So that's how a client wants to feel and should be treated, that they are your only client, even though you have others. You should prioritize, but again, have that open communication. That will make things go so much more smoother.
Oh, that's so good. Thank you. So, realistic budgets. That is
Uh-huh.
so important. I have met a lot of people who actually plan events and don't have a budget in mind. And then when it gets to the end, they're about to pull out their hair, right? Because they
Mhm.
realize, I didn't realize how much I'm spending. So it's so important because you got to pay all those invoices, guys.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that. And improvising as well. I love to tell my friends, don't be married to an idea, because I think you'll be so disappointed if you have to make a change. So if you come
Agreed.
into it more open, then you're more flexible. You're like, okay, we're going to do this. Now we can do that. And that is just as beautiful versus I didn't get what I want. I'm upset. I can't enjoy myself. Right. So then it kind of changes your mood. So
Yeah,
I
I think
love that.
sometimes people will become fixated on that one thing that didn't go the way that they wanted. And I always like to be able to have options or give my clients options to say, you know what, this is what it's going to look like if we do this. This is what it's going to look like if we change this. So that I'm a visual person, so I like to be visual with my clients as well, so that they can see what the other possibilities are.
Awesome. And in terms of planning, how much time before an event would you say is a good amount of time to start planning, even talking to the planner to really start getting things going?
So it really depends on the type of event. I mean, I've planned someone's wedding with 8 weeks notice. I think I planned someone else's with about 4.5 weeks notice. They had a lot of
Wow.
ideas and thoughts, but things changed and we didn't have that much time. But I would
Mhm.
say realistically, if you can, a year, because that gives enough time for research, that gives enough time to create budgets and change budgets, that gives enough time to start pulling a lot of contracts together. But I would say a year, if you have that much time, but 6 months should be adequate.
Okay.
Mhm.
Awesome. Okay. So 6 months, but if you can, a year to give yourself. The more time, the better. Okay, I love that.
Definitely.
I love that. Okay. Awesome, awesome, awesome advice. And also, thank you for those tips as well. I want you to tell us about the Mimosa Fest, and the mornings are for mimosas. We want to know about the mimosa.
Oh my God. Okay, ladies and gentlemen that are out there watching, I am a self-proclaimed mimosa master, mimosa queen, whatever you want to call me. I love all things mimosas. Like I have no idea where this love for bubbles came from. It could just be, I think I told someone this the other day. I feel like when I'm drinking like champagne or Prosecco, I feel kind of fancy and I feel a little like, ooh,
And that's
little
all right.
a little uppity.
That's all right.
So I think that's probably where my love came from. Like, I may have had my first glass of Prosecco and I was just like, oh my God, this is amazing. And so mornings are for mimosas. It started off as a wedding planning workshop for brides and grooms. It really was kind of like wedding planning 101, or how to help brides and grooms get started in the wedding planning process. I noticed when I was meeting with people just in my, daily travels, or just going to the store or talking to friends or whatever, people would ask a lot of questions. I don't want to say basic questions, but questions that I think they wanted more advice from a planner, an expert planner. And so I thought to myself, oh my goodness, I think that we should do some sort of workshop so that people can actually know how to create a budget, how to choose the right vendors for their wedding day, things about timelines for your wedding day, all of that good stuff. But then it kind of transformed as the world changed and transformed. What I've noticed is a lot of folks did not want to spend 2, 3, or 4 days at a workshop because, they just didn't really have the time. And so what we've been talking about doing is switching those tips and tricks over to like Facebook Lives or Instagram Lives, because people just want those quick, 15 minutes, not even 15 minutes, sometimes 5 to 10 minutes of just quick tips or whatever, something that they can take back, some little nuggets. So what I also noticed is that us as vendors, planners, hair and makeup artists, videographers, photographers, we love to network with each other. We like to hang out with each other and have people that we can say, you know what, I met this amazing photographer the other day. Let me recommend this person. Or I met this wonderful hair and makeup artist who might be available for your day, since if someone is struggling with finding one of those vendors. So I turned Mornings Are for Mimosas into a networking event for planners and vendors, and it just kind of took off from there. So we have 3 more left in the series. We have the one that's coming up in October in Tyson's Corner. That one's going to be Sunday, October 17th. And then the one after that is going to be in Las Vegas. It's going to be right before Wedding MBA starts, which is a huge wedding conference. And that's going to be on November 7th. And then our last one in the series will be on Sunday, December 12th in Charleston, South Carolina. And this event really is just for folks who are in the industry to come and network with each other and hang out. And we come up with topics each time. One of the topics that we're toying with is the importance of having a good personal brand. And talking about branding yourself and branding your business, so that when people look at you, they correlate certain things with you, which is funny because I feel like I've done that really well as far as mimosas are concerned. Every time a new mimosa something comes out, people are texting me or emailing me like, oh my God, did you see this? And I'm like, that is good brand recognition right there.
Yes, it is.
So that's Mornings Are for Mimosas, and that really is my baby. I launched that in 2018. And we've made a lot of changes with it since it launched. But Mimosa Fest is my newest baby. As I keep telling people, when you think of Mimosa Fest, I want you to think boozy, bougie, brunchy day party. Like just, live music, food trucks, vendors. We're going to have a mimosa contest, all of that stuff. It is going to be next year, May 15th, 2022 in Austin, Texas at a venue called Fair Market. And this event, it's going to be so amazing because it's going to bring so many people from different diverse backgrounds together, because as I've been saying to people, mimosa has no color, like, no, everyone, doesn't matter your background, race, creed, religion, all of that. Everyone loves a good mimosa. And so we're really excited about that event. Right now, we're looking for vendors and sponsors. We have a huge sponsor, on the docket. As soon as I get that paperwork signed, you will see announcements everywhere. So we are really, really excited about that event because I think that it's gonna, one, put Austin on the map even more because Austin is becoming such a popular city to visit and move to. But I just think that's just gonna take it to the next level.
Awesome. Listen, I need to be at the fest. Okay.
You're coming to the, you know what? Let's talk offline. I got you. We will hook you up
Okay,
with
I'm
tickets.
there, my fellow Texas sister. Okay.
Yes.
And you're so right. Like mimosas, food trucks, it's all about a vibe. It doesn't matter who you are, your background.
Thank you.
Everyone we live such busy lives, such demanding lives. We just want to chill and have a good vibe and enjoy good people, good energy. So oh, that is wonderful. I have one more question though about the mimosa.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there such thing as a bad mimosa? Like when you are, is there such a thing?
That's such a good,
because I enjoy them too. So I was just wondering.
Okay.
I've never had a bad one.
I have had a bad one.
Okay.
And I was like, what? And I was trying to figure out what made it bad. And I could not figure out if it was, because this was just a standard traditional mimosa, which is orange juice and champagne or orange juice and prosecco, depending on your vibe. And I could not figure out if it was just not a good champagne or if it was not a good juice. So, but it's only been one time. It has only been one time, and I have not gotten a mimosa from there again. Okay. but I would say if you want just a traditional mimosa, having your favorite orange juice, whatever your favorite orange juice is, and whatever your favorite bubbly, sparkly is, that will make a good mimosa. I do something called a vodka mimosa, which is kind of a twist on a screwdriver, and all that is orange juice, prosecco, and vodka. So just equal parts of each, but it depends on how twisted you want to get.
Okay, I love it. Okay, yeah, I was always curious. I'm like, I never had a bad one. I wonder. So I love that. Thank you for all of the wealth of information. I've learned a lot about mimosa. I am going to be going to a Mimosa Fest.
Yes.
You are my fellow journalist sister who loves to write. And we're both semi-nosy. That's okay, though. That is a good thing.
I'm okay with that. I am A-okay with that. Investigative is what I would
Yes, we're investigators. I love that word better.
Inquisitive investigators.
I love it. And you gave us amazing tips about planning events. And so we want to thank you just for hanging out here at the Masterpiece Lounge with us today.
Yes.
I had such a good time, and you have to come back before the fest so we can talk about it again.
Oh, yes, I would love to.
I'd love to have you back. And I want to know if you could just share with us, how can we stay in touch with you for all of our viewers? How can we stay in touch, stay connected so we can get all those updates about all the upcoming events and endeavors that you have?
Yes, wonderful. So for anything event planning wise, you can follow us on Instagram, and that handle is AAYOU events. That's where we are. So at AAYOU events. Anything Mimosa Fest wise, you can follow us at Mimosa Fest, one word, on Instagram. And then the website for Mimosa Fest is www.mimosa-fest.com. And then the All About You website is www.aayouevents.com. So you can find me all over social media. You can find me on our websites. I'm happy to connect with anyone. I am very reachable. My phone is always with me, always. So yes, if you want to talk more about Mimosa Fest, or if you need any assistance with planning events, I am open. Just reach out.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Miss Necoya Tyson. You have been amazing. And thank you for hanging out with me and everyone tuning into the Masterpiece Lounge. Guys, thank you so much again for tuning in. And I will be back soon with another segment. And until then, everyone, be well. Take care, everybody.